Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us in this session called Does the Environment Influence Crime? Analysis of the Relationship Between Environmental Indicators and Homicides in Brazil. And we have Professor Stanley Pena and Professor Sid Goncalves Filho, both from FUMEC University. And I will give now the floor to the professors to start their presentations. I'll be in the background if you need anything.
Good morning for everything. I am honored to participate in this important international criminology conference. Thank you for opportunity and to present the research. Begins Brazil has high crimes rates. Begins considered on the most violent countries in the world. In 10 years, thousands of people have been murdered in their country. To have a dimension of the size of the violence, this number of homicides is higher than entire population of small countries. So Cape Verde, Suriname, and Malta. The violence produces negative effects in the heart, social security, education, and economy, and acts and rotating agents of development. Consist on the complex, multifaceted social phenomenon that originates in the modes and the futures. In this consultation, his previsable purported research, the gap in scientific studies on violence into Brazil, it verificates. Special those that considers different factors around homicides in the broad and integrative approach. Today, we will present an important result of the research that influenced the correlation of public policies, the correlations between crime and environment. Tenor research in this name. Does the environment influence the crime? Analysis and the correlations between environmental indicators and homicides in Brazil. Human behavior can be influenced by several factors, so it's income, education, philosophical and family aspects, local culture, the environment its own lives, among other elements. Understanding how these factors interact helps to explain certain social manifestation, so violence and criminality. The criminal theory of the ecological model explains influence the environment, research, and the person, influence in the practice of the crime. This model considers cities and living social organizing, how this correlation between the people and the environment in which they are inserted and dynamic and subjective to constant trends. The ecological model starts in the studies of criminal behavior in Chicago, in the USA, which it begins of 20th century present increased rates of the murders and the robberies. It's found the economic growth of the city attract people for different places and cultural traits. Without a master plan to organize the city, people began to live in small houses. It becomes conditions of garbage collection, urbanization, and sanitary treatment. This is our data into our research. It's us association hit effects and the immigrants didn't have any ties hit the place where they began to reside. Results of association disorganization, social disorganization were the rise of crime rates. Research begins to study the phenomenon and found the environment would also influence the crime behavior. Thus, this disorganization environment, with low loading and precarious conditions for garbage collection and sewage treatment, association with the absence of social control would also influence crime because it associates crime with environment factors and because it originates in Chicago, USA. This theory is called ecological model or Chicago School and has Ernest Watts-Burgess, Robert Ellsberg, Clifford Shaw, and Henry McKay, and thus in principal theories about this theme. It's what's fault, the fragility and distance of social ties, the enmity of large cities and big cities, the no-use on the duration of public space, such as streets, squares, parks, tenuous and visual pollution of big urban centers, of the lack of the planning of cities, and that influence the crime. It's a risk on the bonds of identity between individuals on space where they live in the work has with the promotion, social control, and the fraternity citizen among citizens, in addition to Western public space, the school, the church, and the neighbor to exercise and certainly social control of the individual contribution to behavior begins aligned with the law upon the practice of the crime. This is showed the relationship between the crime and the industrial revolution, with this data. In this way, recount the bonds of identity between individuals on the space where they live and work, and where promotion, control, and the fraternity among citizens. In addition, restores public space can constitute effective measures for crime control. These negotiations contribute to family, to school, the church, and the neighborhood to exercise and certainly social control over the individual of in the personal contributes to behavior begin aligned from the law about the practices of the crime. Its principal actor is Emily Durkheim. It's the principal theory and is about this theme. To carry, this is news of the Rhodes research. We analyze various factors and in one dimension. To carry on the research, the following indicators were selected as environment factors of analysis. Percentage of the urban population living in households connected on the water supply network. Percentage of natural vegetation cover. Percentage of the urban population living in households connected and sanitary sewerage, and percentage of the urban population served by the collecting services. Thus, based of this theory of ecological model, it's concluded the environment factors influence criminal behavior, being an important element for analysis into stages of the criminology and the criminal phenomenon. we go show the assault death rate. On of 8 indicators under analysis, it's fault. The 4 are statistically relevant to influence homicides caused by aggression interfering in the phenomenon. This is about social inequality, social vulnerability, quality of the life and the environment. In the turn, the indicators of congestion rates of the justice, space facility, and the public security function, age rate, and total population don't be steadily relevant and data processing. As for environment factors, the data treatment reveals then harder the base sanitation in this measure and the population service with water supply, waste collection, and sanitary sewerage, the high mortality rates due to aggression. These results shows there is an relationship between urbanization and the violence, according into ecological model theory. To central proposed states that environment interferes in the criminal behavior, such that violence manifests itself more vehemently in more urbanized environments, such that there is a great volume in the people and cars traveling in same space, and the torment is greater. The possibility of the crash rated in the individuals in the car. Thus, public policies to import the correction rules and occupation of in the land, the establish and implementation of the master plan of in the cities, and to establish the environment preservation areas must be readily implemented, since such measures incite sustainable urban development. And promote a quality of life of population and preserve the environment, and addiction influence and agent mitigate violence. These results, three things reinforce the importance of important preventive public policy to control homicides by aggression, since these factors that can be mitigated. The manifestation of this type of violence basically resides and then precedes the crime, namely reduction of social inequality, better quality of life conditions, reduction of social vulnerability, and promotion of public environmental policies. So, do environment factors influence mortality due to aggression? Yes, I do. Now you show the results, the analysis of the mortality due to traffic accident, the car traffic. And first is mentioned, then the research model explain how the phenomenon and analysis, which makes it considerable and specific to understand the relationship in variables. The influence of 8 features on the mortality rate from traffic accidents was observed. Quality of the life, environment, social vulnerability, congestion rate of justice, per capita expenditure and the public security, age rate, social inequality, and population size total. From the set of variables, its fault, statistics treatment, The mortality from traffic accidents is influenced by 5 factors. Rent per capita, spending for security public, social inequality, population, quality of the life, and the environment. And the third, it's what's false. The words variable are statistically irrelevant and incapable to influence the homicides caused by traffic accidents. There are studies that say the environment interferes in the crime behavior. This assertion could be proven in the present state. Size, environment factors, urbanization factors influence the mortality rate due to traffic accidents is a negative relationship between the variables. This means that the higher the percentage of service of the population, it water supply and the garbage collection service, and the lower of the percentage of vegetation cover. That's it. It's more urbanized in the place, the lower the mortality and from traffic accidents. Person who live in more urbanization place with where infrastructure and road safety conditions reduces in turn the possibility the fatal accidents. This results suggests the promotion environment and big sanitation police in cascade effects. There's an possibility of reduction violence into Brazil roads. Homicides, their rates, analysis analysis of homicides mortality. Environment, urbanization factors were statistically relevant in positive relation between the variables. This means the higher the degree of urbanization, the higher the homicides mortality rate. More urbanized places concentrate complex social problems, such as the need to implement urban mobility, the needs to distribute income, the development public policies related to housing, and the reduction of unemployment. Thus, this homicide mortality has provided to society hit the large urban centers at the respective peripheral jurisdictions. A theory of ecological models is confirmed. This is our data treatment in the research. This is imperative, is important to the government adopt measures to organize and clean public space, in line its policies, then promote urban mobility and the correct use and occupation of their land. Strategies can combine economy and social development of cities need to be associated the preservation of the environment. Since science is addiction to making the space more pleasant, the environment is possible of influence to manifestation on violence and murders. Polluted places on irregular garbage disposal, irregular collection, reduction of nature vegetation cover with the water supply tended to make the environment degraded and influence the behavior of the person, making it more violent and susceptible to homicides. So, do environment factors influence homicide mortality? Yes, influence. There is influence. It's two variables. Professor Cid, posso passar a palavra para o senhor, por gentileza? Passo a palavra, please, the Dr. Cid Gonçalves, Hindens and the word.
Thank you, Stanley. Congratulations for your presentation. Thank you, Professor Daniel, for the opportunity to be here. This is a piece of the PhD thesis of Stanley that was our student. And Stanley works at the policy of our state, and he is looking to explain crime based on secondary data. This is a piece of his work, and he chose to this presentation. And this is an effort that shows that the result shows that the urbanization of the cities as cities grows in Brazil, and similarly to the phenomenon that happened in England during the Industrial Revolution. They create tension, they create a lot of inequalities. We have people with different economic situations living in the same space. We have a lot of people that move to the cities to looking for work, people involve identity with such cities, and this creates I see a situation that is positive, impacts positively the crime. And it's a problem for the governments because we have a lot of cities in this condition. And there are a lot of recommendations and implications for the government and people who is responsible for the planning of these security systems to reduce this criminality, because we have spaces, physical spaces with a lot of people that don't have social bounds, and they don't have links, and they are losing consideration regarding the population that is living in that space, that physical space. So thank you very much, Stanley, Professor Daniel. And Stanley, please do the final considerations and as you want. Thank you. And we should ask Professor Daniel if he has any questions or some considerations about this work. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a couple of questions, and the first question is, what might be some concrete policies that the governments could promote for social organization and control of urbanization? And this is a double question. What are some factors specific to your study in Brazil that you could mention in addition to environmental factors?
Stanley, are you alive? Can you answer?
Professor, caso o senhor queira, por gentileza, responder, por favor.
Okay. I'm going to try to recover Stanley's presentation. Just a moment. Regarding the results, we can observe that Stanley considered three variables as antecedents of the crime. Water supply, garbage collection, and vegetation cover. What we see here as the level of urbanization grows, automatically the crime homicides they increase. It's observed. You can see also in the results that we can see the regression, a linear regression that was accomplished. And we also can observe that we get variables as social vulnerability and quality of life that also have positive impact on crime. So as the city grows, and also as you can observe, the government provides structure as water or garbage collection and urbanization, that it's a good structure, it should be a good thing. At the same time, as the city grows, the crime grows in the same level. So we conclude at first that criminality is, since the Industrial Revolution, more related to urbanization. As we put a lot of people in the same location, it's more easier to commit crime, and also we have the inequalities became very visible and also compressed in that physical location. About the implications for the managers and for the government, Stanley wrote, I read in his notes, he believes that we should provide more socialization between this population. We should provide a sense of identification. The city should be active, providing events, or also, create a dialogue with this population about what is the city, what it means, what's the origin of the city, how these people should talk and think about the place we are living, what we believe, what is the history of this place. We are having a lot of people that don't have connections. So we should create these connections. We should create spaces, public spaces, and try to use the institutions that are available as schools and so on to increase this identity. I think the schools could be a key element to try to begin this work. Also providing to the families opportunities to interact and try to create opportunities to this identity to be created and be more solid in the minds of this population.
Thank you.
Question in Huba. Give me just a second. A question from Ivan Flores Martinez. And the question is, quality of life is highly collinear with other variables. Did you try?
Professor Cid, não chegou para mim a mensagem.
Professor Daniel, we couldn't listen your question, okay? The system Just don't send all the
No problem. Let me get the question. Question from Ivan Flores Martinez, and his question is, quality of life is highly collinear with other variables. Did you try combining aggregating it with other measures?
Professor Cid, por gentileza, caso.
Okay.
Let me put the.
I know that Stanley did a lot of analysis and regarding the creation of clusters or aggregating variables to increase the power of explanation of the models that he tested. We can observe in the tables that are available in his thesis, that quality of life is has correlation with a lot of variables, but I don't have this here. So, Stanley, my suggestion is to, if possible, try to send to this. Try to generate a table in English with the results and send to this participant with all the results of your thesis. The thesis is written in Portuguese, okay? So it is available online, and we can send it in Portuguese for you. So you're gonna have all the data about Brazil and all the correlations among the variables. And also you can translate parts of the thesis using artificial intelligence or translators to get the data, to get all the thesis, all the data for you. Okay, Stanley, do you have a link or do you want to get the email of the people who want to receive your thesis, and also supply your email for contact, so they can contact you and get all the thesis and all the data to them?
Yeah, if there's any documents that you would like to share, you can always send those to us, and we can then post them, add a link, and then send those links to all the attendees after the conference, because we will be sending the links to the videos as well. So we'll ask all speakers if they have any documents or slides that they'll want to share, and we will post them.
Okay, so Stanley, we're gonna send his thesis that will be shared with everybody.
Okay. We have one more question. How do we deal within this theoretical framework with poverty as a factor?
We can see in this in the slides the social vulnerability is associated to all the homicides and that we can observe. For example, in the we can see that the impact, the standardized impact of social vulnerability with mortality by aggression is 0.446. It's a medium to high impact. So if you get poverty and social inequality, the data shows that all the homicides increases. This is the real data, so we use it in statistics. So this is the data for the real homicides that happening in the country. So we can see the poverty is really associated with homicides, and the inequalities that happens, and they are more present in cities because you have this, you can see these inequalities more near you. They create this tension, they create this problem with among the population, and they increase the crime rate. They are more inclined more to commit crime. That's clear in our tables regarding the variable social vulnerability.
Thank you, professors. We don't seem to have more questions, so I think we can go ahead and end this session. But we will be sharing the documents after the conference. Next week, we'll be sending links to videos and other documents. So thank you both for this great presentation. And remember, everyone, that all these sessions are being recorded, and we'll have the videos ready for you sometime next week. We will let you know. And we hope to see you in the next sessions throughout the day. Thank you again very much.
Thank you, Professor. Have a nice weekend. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice to meet you.